Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about a couple of topics. One of them relates to hedge funds. Also, we're going to be looking at strategies to profit in this market, also related to hedge funds. And at the end, also related to hedge funds, we're going to be looking at Eiger Biopharmaceuticals, a stock pick of the day. So I would just like to mention that most of the data, most of the picks, most of my videos are related to computer software analysis. So I use a lot of computer software to analyze data using insider trading, Biotech using FGA and PDUFA data. Also now I'm using hedge funds. Just that you know, looking at computer data with analysis to get you and to get me as well a lot of good picks. So let's move to the first topic. Let's talk about hedge funds. We're going to be looking at Berkshire Hathaway, that's Warren Buffett company. We're going to get a sneak peek of Warren Buffett portfolio. Is he buying in 2020? So a lot of people are saying that he didn't buy anything in 2020. Is that even true? Yeah, let's take a look at that. If we take a look at Berkshire's Hathaway Warren Buffett portfolio at the end of March 2020, they have to report every quarter. The latest information we have so far is at the end of March 2020. And we can compare with the one provided at the end of 2019, the last quarter of 2019. And what we see is that it is true that he barely bought anything. He didn't buy a lot of things up to end of March, but we see these three companies here, PNC. He bought something here because we see the quantity at the end of 2019, which I can certainly do this. And at the end of March, we see a quantity increased. Even though the price at the end of March is less than it was before, it's very clear by the quantity that he increased his position. Same for this company. United, whatever that is, Holdings. I didn't look at these companies. I'm just looking at if he bought something or not. So we see the quantity here at the end of March increased. Interesting that at that point he had bought a little bit more of Delta Airlines. But the information that we all have is that he ended up selling all the airlines after. But that's what we have at the end of March. So looking at his portfolio, see a lot of companies that I'm not even familiar with. That's not really my intention to analyze his portfolio, just give a quick look. Some big companies, MasterCard, Visa, Wells Fargo, Apple, Bank of America, Coca-Cola. Yeah, and these are the companies he sold. So all of these, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. We see the airlines, Southwest. He sold American Airlines. Like even Amazon at that point he sold. Not a lot, but he sold. Okay. Moving to our next topic, looking at my FGA report, I would like to show you this company, Eiger Biopharmaceuticals. It's going to have a PDUFA date at the end of the year, November 20. There's some insider buying activity back in March and previously probably. I didn't look at all the details, but we see here the amount. And there is a target price. Actually, let me do this. There is a target price for this company of $34.83, if that matters to you. Currently sitting around $10. The 52-week low was about $4.55, going all the way to 52-week high of $15.82. So now sitting at $10, not too bad. Well, let's see some more details on these companies, also what hedge funds are doing with this company. So the current price is about $10. I would love to see this coming down to like around $8 if it comes. That's really not sure, but by the chart is been coming down. So even after the crash on March, we got a price of around $13. It's coming down, so I'd love to see this around $8. Market cap is $250 million. As we see, 1 year target of 34.83. I found this article about hedge funds buying this company, which is a pretty good sign. So this is an article by Insider Monkey. They have a lot of data, a lot of things that I'm actually doing as well, analyzing hedge funds and things like that. So they analyzed 27 hedge funds, and they saw quite a few of them buying this company. So I basically took this article, all the hedge funds they're actually looking at, because I don't have all the data yet, but I took all of these hedge funds, all the hedge funds they're talking about, and I was able to compile some data, and just for this company, using all the hedge funds, all those hedge funds that he talks about, I was able to confirm that there are quite some hedge funds buying this company. Of course, I'd like to remind you the information we have is at the end of March 2020 and comparing to the end of the year, the last quarter of the 2019. And what we see is some really good buying activity. This is the total position in dollars for the hedge fund. Of course, in March, because of the drop in price, it's much lower than at the end of 2019. And this is the unit price. Of course, it's going to be the same for all the hedge funds, because it's the unit price at the end of March 2020. Hedge fund, Vivo Capital, same thing. In this case, they actually didn't buy. We see the quantity is the same. They didn't do any average down. Interesting. So this one actually sold position, not a large amount. This one also sold. But this one, it's a big increase in the position, for sure, big average down, from 144,000 shares to 360,000 shares. So pretty good increase. This other hedge fund, actually, it didn't have anything. Actually, they bought a good position. Very smart move. They got a very good price. We don't know exactly when they bought, but certainly before the end of March. They probably got a good price for this. This hedge fund increased quite a lot, from 63,850 to 150,000. This hedge fund also bought, we see more than 115,000 shares at the end of March 2020. This hedge fund also didn't have anything. They bought more than 84,000. Same for this hedge fund. So there's pretty good information, right? So pretty good sign for this company. We're going to see at the end of June, when we get the reports, probably sometime in July, August. I'm going to take a look at that again. So a little bit of this company, Eiger Biopharmaceuticals. They have some drugs to fight rare diseases. Okay. So a couple of drugs here, and we see the status: phase 3 enrolling, phase 3 ready. So this one is NDA submitted. We saw in my report that's going to be in November. That's a good catalyst. So it's a pretty good company, right? So a couple of drugs on phase 3, one phase 2, and one already submitted for NDA in November. And not only that, we get exposure to one of the drugs for COVID-19. So that's, just think about it, right? Quite a lot of catalysts to come. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Have a good day and take care.